I cannot believe the absolute nerve of this guy, honestly. It feels like every single day there's some new attack, some fresh assault on, you know, the basic ideas of our democracy. And today's little gem, oh, it takes the damn cake. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive.
Quite the opening. Things are heated already.
Heated doesn't even cut it. We're talking about Donald Trump. Who else? He's actually floated the idea, get this, that Republicans in Congress should maybe consider expelling Democratic lawmakers.
Expelling them. For what?
For daring to suggest he might be impeached. Can you believe it? Kicking out elected representatives just for doing their constitutional duty. I mean, the sheer audacity is, well, it's frankly breathtaking.
It does raise some, let's say, fundamental questions. We saw Representatives Shri Thanedar and Al Green bring up impeachment recently.
Exercising their duty.
Exactly. And Representative Thanedar used some pretty strong language, didn't he? He talked about sweeping abuse of power, flagrant violations of the Constitution, and, quote, acts of tyranny that undermine American democracy and threaten the rule of law.
Strong language for strong actions. And Trump's response, oh, pure class, as always, took to Truth Social, called them no name, little respected, total whack jobs. I mean, the irony. He whines constantly about disrespect, then spews this garbage. And his claim that they have no idea for what I would be impeached, that's just transparent bullshit. We know exactly why they're considering it.
Well, Representative Thanedar did reportedly lay out some specifics. 7 articles, I believe.
Yeah, 7.
Things like abuse of trade powers, creating this unlawful government office, and crucially, obstruction of justice. So there are specific alleged actions being pointed to.
And this unlawful government office, this Department of Government Efficiency, seriously, does anyone really buy that it wasn't just a way to gut regulations? You know, clean air, clean water, worker safety, all to help his corporate pals.
The potential implications are certainly significant.
So when Thanedar says Trump is a clear and present danger to our nation's constitution and our democracy, honestly, it doesn't sound like hyperbole anymore. It sounds like a damn fire alarm.
And, you know, suggesting expulsion for pursuing impeachment, that itself is deeply problematic. The impeachment process is supposed to be a check on executive power.
It's literally in the Constitution.
Right. So suggesting members of Congress be removed for even using that tool, that's a direct hit on the separation of powers. It's arguably an impeachable offense in itself, ironically.
Now, okay, let's be real for a second. The politics. Republican House. Are Thanedar and Green's efforts likely to succeed? Probably not. Slim to none, right? Most Republicans seem petrified of Trump.
The political reality is challenging, yes.
But, and this is the important part, that political reality doesn't make it okay. It doesn't erase the moral or constitutional reasons for raising these issues. The history, the pattern of behavior, it's all documented.
And it was interesting, wasn't it, that Representatives Minsium, Kelly, and Nadler initially signed on as co-sponsors.
Yeah, and then backed out.
They withdrew their support, citing a need for leadership review. Procedurally, perhaps standard, but the optics, backing away right after Trump's comments, well, it looks a certain way.
Looks weak is what it looks like. And let's not forget, this isn't his first rodeo. The guy's been impeached twice-y already.
Indeed. The first time regarding Ukraine.
Trying to extort Ukraine for dirt on Biden. Abuse of power. Plain and simple. For personal gain.
And the second, of course, related to January 6th.
Inciting an insurrection, trying to violently overturn an election he lost. He got off both times, thanks to Senate Republicans, but the evidence.
The evidence presented in both cases was quite substantial.
Yeah.
Damning, as many described it.
Damning is the word, which makes Pete Aguilar's recent comments so revealing. He basically said Democrats don't have confidence Republicans would do their jobs, so they're hesitant to even try impeachment.
He pointed to the political climate, yes. Likely an accurate assessment of the partisanship involved.
But is that an excuse? Seriously. So because the other side won't play fair, you just abdicate your own constitutional responsibility. I don't get that.
It's a difficult calculation, certainly.
Especially when you look at the polls. A majority of Americans, including like 55% of independents in one poll, actually want Congress to pursue impeachment. They believe he's broken the law, violated their rights. This isn't some fringe thing.
It brings us back to that fundamental question, doesn't it? Are we governed by laws or by the whims of one person who acts like he's above them?
A wannabe strongman, yeah.
And Mr. Trump suggesting expelling lawmakers for doing their oversight duty. You have to see that as a serious warning sign. A test balloon, perhaps.
Warning sign, it's a flashing red siren, a full-blown klaxon. He's seeing what he can get away with. If this kind of talk gets a pass, what's next?
Constitutionally, expulsion is possible. Article 1, Section 5. But it requires a two-thirds vote.
A supermajority.
Exactly. It suggests it was meant for truly serious misconduct, disorderly behavior, as the Constitution puts it, not as a political weapon against people using checks and balances.
Think about George Santos. He got expelled for actual lying and fraud. Tangible stuff. But Trump thinks considering impeachment for his alleged abuses warrants the same. It just shows you the warped reality, and accountability is the real crime to them.
It does seem consistent with a broader pattern of attacking any institution that could constrain his power. We've seen it with the courts, the press, the electoral process, the DOJ.
Anything that gets in his way.
It suggests a desire to operate without those traditional democratic constraints.
And the GOP leadership. They're just enabling it. They're actually using the threat of future impeachments against Trump as a rallying cry for the midterms. Speaker Mike Johnson was on CNN doing just that.
Calling potential future inquiries baseless has become a political strategy.
It's all fear and outrage. Forget actual policy. It's a pathetic gamble, clinging to Trump despite, his unpopularity with a lot of people and the potential economic mess his policies could cause.
They seem determined to hold on to his base, even at the risk of alienating others.
And Trump himself, he's deep in midterm planning, meeting GOP leaders, plotting candidates, endorsements, rallies. It's a power grab, pure and simple, installing loyalists everywhere.
The situation in Georgia with Governor Brian Kemp is particularly illustrative of this dynamic.
Oh, yeah, Kemp. The guy Trump attacked relentlessly for not, illegally overturning the 2020 election results in Georgia.
The very same. And now Mr. Trump himself, along with national Republican figures like Senators Thune, Scott, and Daines, are reportedly trying to recruit Governor Kemp to run for the Senate.
It's peak cynicism, isn't it? Principles, past attacks, none of it matters. Only political convenience, win at all costs.
It certainly highlights the transactional nature of politics right now.
And don't fall for this spin that Trump suddenly wants the best candidates instead of just diehards. That's just damage control after 2022 when some of his more extreme picks lost winnable races. The real goal is still loyalty to him.
The pressure is certainly on. Richard Hudson, the House GOP campaign chair, basically said, President Trump's going to be crucial for us in keeping the House.
Meaning even swing district Republicans like Don Bacon in Nebraska, who's in a district Biden won, are being pushed to campaign with Trump. No wonder Bacon's apparently thinking about retiring. Who needs that headache?
It's a difficult position for those members, definitely.
So yeah, keep an eye on Georgia. Ossoff versus potentially Kemp. The whole Senate could depend on it. And it's all tangled up in this Trump loyalty test nonsense.
Senator Ossoff did recently state that Mr. Trump has, quote, already exceeded any prior standard for impeachment. He mentioned a cryptocurrency venture as a potential source of enrichment.
Good for him for saying it. Of course the GOP freaked out.
They did push back strongly, and Senator Ossoff later slightly nuanced his statement, but it does show a willingness, perhaps growing, among some Democrats to confront these issues more directly.
Meanwhile, you got Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about running for Senate or governor, and she accidentally made a good point. She said Republicans need more that just don't impeach Trump. Like, duh. Though what she'd offer instead is terrifying.
It's interesting watching the Democratic leadership, though. Jeffries, Aguilar, they're tamping down impeachment talk, reiterating it's not an exercise we're willing to undertake right now.
Playing it safe.
Likely guided by the political reality in the House. But it does contrast with others in the party, like AOC, who insist impeachment should absolutely be on the table.
And then there's Senator Fetterman calling it all just dumb and not going anywhere. I get the cynicism, I really do, given Congress. But just dismissing it like that feels dangerous. It enables the bad behavior. It normalizes it. If you just shrug and say nothing can be done, then, well, nothing will be done.
Which loops back to public opinion. The polls suggest people do want something done. That ASO Communications poll found 52% overall support for a third impeachment.
Including 55% of independents? That's huge.
And 84% of Democrats, naturally, but also 20% of Republicans. And the Data for Progress survey found 46% overall, again. Over half of independents believe Congress has a duty to impeach a president who tramples rights and breaks laws.
A duty. And remember, the polling memo pointed out this support exists before anyone's even made a big public case about the current stuff. Imagine if they actually laid it all out clearly.
The potential for increased support is certainly there. Groups like Free Speech for People are actively trying to build that case with their Impeach Trump Again campaign.
They've got, over 370,000 signatures. And they're documenting the abuses, attacks on immigrants, vindictive actions, undermining voting rights, even trying to get charges dropped against allies like Eric Adams.
Alexandra Flores Quilty from that group put it plainly. It's up to Congress to do their job, defend the Constitution, and impeach and remove Donald Trump from office for his grave abuses of power.
Grave abuses of power, violation of his oath. That's what we're talking about, concrete things.
And this resonates with broader public sentiment about his presidency. You mentioned the NYT Siena poll.
Yeah, 66% called it chaotic, 59% scary. Over half disapprove of his job handling and think the country's on the wrong track under him.
The ABC UFO poll found similar disapproval, 55%. And importantly, majorities felt he was going too far on expanding presidential power, acting against opponents, undermining diversity initiatives.
People see it. They see the overreach. We've seen reports calling what he and his allies are planning an unconstitutional rampage, targeting everything, threatening vital programs, an unprecedented disaster, a 5-alarm fire. That's the language being used by observers.
So when you put all these pieces together, the specific actions, the rhetoric, the historical context, the public opinion, the conclusion that Mr. Trump represents a significant danger to democratic norms, and the rule of law becomes very hard to avoid.
Danger is putting it mildly. It's a clear and present danger. Impeachment isn't just an option. It feels fucking imperative at this point. We are at a precipice. Our institutions are clearly under assault. Or worse, paralyzed.
A sobering assessment.
So what can you do? You, listening right now. Keep paying attention. Keep demanding accountability. Shine a light on these abuses. Hold your elected officials' feet to the fire. Don't let them off the hook.
That seems to be all the time we have for this deep dive.
That's right. Don't forget to like the video, share it far and wide, subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive, and click the notification icon to keep updated. We will see you in the next breaking news.